In our class, we had mentioned about the 6 dimensions in the divorce process. The emotional dimension we had just shared and hopefully brought out some good points to give you some information on how to address issues, regarding grief and loss, that no matter if we're young or old, boy or girl, male or female, that we go through certain grieving processes when we experience a grievous loss, and that was dealt with under the emotional dimension of the aspect of the divorce. And Dr. Paul Bohannon, he also pointed out another dimension of the divorce, another aspect of the divorce is the co-parenting dimension or aspect of the divorce. The question is asked, well, what do kids get from a family? What is the purpose of a family? Why do children even need a family these days? And basically, the purpose of a family is for nurturance of the children, obviously, and socialization, to teach the children socialization skills, and also to provide our children, our family, with a personal sense of identity. I know who I am because of my family. You know who you are because of your family. Our DNA, our genetics, our culture, and everything makes up our identity, our family. One outcome that we hope you as parents will get from our class is the appreciation that although your family system obviously is going to be changing as a result of the divorce or split up or separation, the family can certainly continue its primary function in meeting the needs of the child or children. Suppose your child, for instance, hears you say something to the effect, your father has always been irresponsible, unreliable, no good, weak, sorry. Well, the question is, what does your child get in terms of their identity when you're talking about their own biological mommy or daddy, their parent? So you got to be careful what you say around your child or children, because, you might not love the child's mommy or daddy, but the children love their mommy and daddy. No matter what y'all have done to each other as adults or whatever has happened, the children still love you both. And please take that into consideration when you're discussing things or when you're around your children. The thing that makes divorce with children different from divorce without children is that while a marriage can end, the family continues. While the relationship as husband and wife ends with the divorce or split up, the separation, the relationship ends. However, the relationship as parents continues for the lifetime. You're going to still be parents to the same kids, although you're not married or together anymore. You're still going to be parents. That, function continues a lifetime. And this is one of the most powerful statements in the divorce, and marriage, scenario, is this: how well parents are able to restructure their relationship to continue to function as parents will be the largest determination of a child's adjustment. And let me say that again, that is so true. A wonderful adage, you need to remember it. How well parents are able to restructure their relationships to continue to function as parents will be the largest determination of a child's adjustment. In single, or I should say simple English, if you want your child or children to come out of this whole divorce ordeal, this whole separation trauma, coming out of it, properly adjusted and well adapted and healthy and strong, then you as parents must be able to restructure your relationships, to be able to continue working together as parents, communicating, sharing, and not be bitter at each other and fighting and hostile with each other, because that's not in the best benefits of your child's health and well-being at all. Co-parental stability is what is not only necessary, but it's what the children really deserve in life. Now, Florida law talks about shared parental responsibility. And it is a court-ordered relationship in which both parents retain full parental rights and responsibilities with respect to their child or children, and in which both parents confer with each other so that major decisions affecting the welfare and the life of the child or children will be determined jointly. You see, parenting involves making ongoing decisions about the child. For instance, will our child play football or march in the high school band? Will our child take ballet or gymnastics? What about birthdays? Let's talk about birthdays. How will they be celebrated? And also other holidays. You know, like Christmas and vacation times, you know, when a school is closed for a season. You know, how are we going to take care of those? How are we going to handle the kids in those special times for those special events? So you as parents must be able to communicate with each other. This is where the rubber hits the road, really. This is where it gets, you know, pragmatic or practical. You've got to be able to cooperate with each other. You've got to be able to communicate with each other. And why? Well, for the best interest of the child, for the best interest of the children. And also it's for your best interest too. Because you as a mommy and daddy, you need to know, and I'm sure you want to know, everything that's happening to your child. If you're a responsible, mature parent and adult, sure, you love your child or children. You want to know. You want to be involved. And so you need to be able to share with each other. And it's called shared parental responsibility. The responsibility shouldn't just weigh on one parent only or one parent mainly when there's two parents available to carry the load. Both parents should carry the load equally and work in conjunction with each other to make it a whole lot easier. So you as parents, you have the responsibility of keeping each other informed about your child's health and well-being, about your child's schoolwork, your child's behaviors, your child's extracurricular activities, whatever involves your child or children. Both parents need to know about it. And if one parent knows, they should share with the other parent. Of course, obviously, unless there's a court order restriction, some other mitigating factors, but that's another picture. But in general, we got to work together as parents so that our child or children will be properly adjusted as a result of our mature actions, our being able to work together. The most important thing in maintaining co-parental stability. Now notice I emphasize the word stability. The most important thing is to keep the lines of communication open and work at making decisions that are in the best interests of the child. Keep those lines of communication open. You know as well as I do, so many times in situations or in relationships, there's a lot of bitterness and hostility where one parent actually shuts down and refuses to even communicate with the other parent or share anything with the other parent, and that's so wrong. And the court does require, Florida law requires you to share those responsibilities and to keep the other parent informed regarding everything about the child, So they call it shared parental responsibility. Now, of course, we know that some of you are dealing with some very difficult situations, and that much of what we are proposing today in terms of cooperation and positive communication, it may not be obtainable in your specific circumstances. Why? Because you have been married or living with somebody that's just right now hostile and bitter and angry as all get out, and they hate and despise you. They're not going to work with you. They're not going to talk to you. They're not going to comply. They're not going to communicate, and you're going to have to take them to court over every little thing because there's hostility involved. Now, if you're not willing to change, this class isn't really going to help you too much. We hope that you will be willing to communicate, to change what needs changing in your life, to work together for the best interests of the child. It's not in the best interest of the child or children for there to be warfare going on between the parents and for the parents to constantly be taking each other to court over every little thing, fighting tooth and toenail over every little thing. That's not in your best interest or the best interest of the child. So, there are dysfunctional families. There are a lot of issues involved for sure. Some of you right now have been grown up in families where there were some basically serious problems. Maybe in your growing up family, there were problems with alcoholism. Maybe in your growing up family when you were a child, there was a lot of physical abuse. And for some, maybe there was even sexual abuse. Maybe some in your growing up family suffered with mental problems or physical illness, which affected the healthy development of the family, your growing up family. And now as an adult with your own family, you have worked hard to overcome those issues in your life that you grew up and faced. And now you found similar problems developing in your current family that you have provided for your child or children. Right now, currently, you are facing with all sorts of problems and issues. Child abuse, there might be sexual abuse, there might be, domestic violence, alcoholism, on and on. You've got a spouse, you've got a partner who is totally uncooperative, and it is very rough for you and your children at this delicate time. So you're dealing with someone that's totally uncooperative. Well, the only thing we can say is that basically you can't change someone else's behavior. You can't force them. But you can do your part. And we want to encourage you. The ideal in this course is for you to do what you're required to do. No matter if the other parent doesn't, at least do your part. Showing that you love your child or children and you're doing what's required. You're setting the example, of what is moral and ethical. Now keep in mind that if a child has even one healthy parent who consistently gives love and support, that child will grow up to be a healthy adult. Oh, I've got to say that one more time. That is so true. Such a powerful statement. Keep in mind that if a child, your child, has even one healthy parent who consistently, notice the word consistently, gives love and support, the child will grow up to be a healthy adult. That's definitely a given. If you want your child, like we all do, we want our children to grow up to be healthy adults, to be functional, then you've got to make sure that happens by doing your part and providing them with the structure and the discipline and the nurturance and the socialization that they need, the guidance that they need, and the cooperation with one another as adults to ensure their health and well-being. Now, obviously when we're talking about family issues, it's not always pleasant. We know that. That's part of, life 101, if we can call it that. Think about it. One parent, a lot of times, has a child residing with them, although in the state of Florida, it's like a timeshare policy now. It used to be the term custody versus non-custodial, but now it's the principle and the philosophy of co-parenting. It's timeshare parenting, if you please, like a timeshare condominium. Both of you have access of it, split up the times and so forth. And so it is with children. It's like a timeshare program now. But it kind of in realism, usually one parent has a child mostly during the week, and the other parent, comes and picks up the child Friday night for the weekend visitation, either every weekend or every other weekend. Now think about the different dilemmas or situations involved, the different issues involved with those two principles. Let's look at it from the standpoint of you having the children or a child is staying with you all week, and all the responsibilities on you as a mommy. Let's say you're the mommy, you've got the kids with you all week. You're having to cook and clean and make sure the kids, get bathed, that they're properly disciplined, that the medical attention is taken care of, and that all the school meetings are attended, anything and everything that involves the life of the child, basically. 24/7, you're there. And all the finances, you having to take care of that, make sure all the bills are paid, because basically you've got the kids residing with you. And you don't have much free time. You're tied up with your kids and after school activities or housework and doing your own job, maintaining employment. And it's rough as a parent living like that, because we want to say divorce or separation isn't always pleasant. It's not an easy thing. And so picture this, your ex the ex-husband, ex-wife, whoever it may be, comes on Friday night and picks up the kids for a weekend visitation. And the parent that comes and picks up the child or children, man, they are thrilled to death. They are so excited. They've got their kids again. They haven't seen them all week. Wow. And so what do? Man, all weekend they just have a blast. They live it up. You know, they go to the entertainment centers, to the movies, peanut butter, cotton candy, popcorn, you name it, candy apples, man. They go to the beach. They rent videos. They watch movies. You know, they have a blast. Not much discipline, not much structure, really. There's a lot of huggy, kissy, because when the parent takes the child back Sunday night to the other parent, they won't see the children again for another whole week. Missing out on all that time with the kids, because think about it. The parent who just visits on the weekend is missing 5/7 of their child's life, because they only have them two days, Saturday and Sunday, and the other 5 days of the week are with the other parent. So the visiting parent, if I can call that parent that, is missing out on 5/7 of their child's life. That's a big chunk of change. 5/7 of a child's life. You're not there taking all those heart pictures, you know, those Kodak moment pictures, you know, seeing a child or children go through all those developmental stages and changes. You're missing out on 5/7 of that. And that's rough on the absentee parent. And so naturally, they're going to just love their child or children when they pick them up for the weekend, just have a blast. That's the normal, that's a natural thing to do. But think about it. When the parent takes the children back to the other parent, is that other parent happy? No. Here's a typical response. I can't believe this. You just picking up the kids and having a blast and living it all up and no responsibilities, fun. And here I am stuck all the week with the kids, having to make sure they get up, get dressed, go to school, have the baths, get fed, do the homework, properly disciplined, that their medical needs are taken care of, their clothing needs are taken care of, and everything. And all this responsibility on me is on me, and you just don't have no responsibilities. Well, that's part of Life 101. There's no easy answer to that. There's no easy resolutions. I want to ask this question, which I do in my classes. How many parents who have the kids 5 days a week would change places with the parent who has the kids only 2 days a week? Nobody raises their hands. So my point is this. Hey, that's the way it is. That's life. But just be thankful that you've got the kids. Be proud and happy and thankful. Just look on the bright side. Hey, the glass is half full, not half empty. Now just think about it. If the roles were reversed, you'd be doing the same thing as that other parent. When you picked up the kids on Friday evening, you would love them to death. You would enjoy them because you knew you'd have to take them back and wouldn't be with them anymore for another whole week. So this whole divorce and separation thing, you know, it has its issues. It has its problems, its negatives. And there's no easy cure or easy fix for a lot of the problems that result as a result of the divorce or separation. But I want to encourage you, be responsible and mature parents. Cooperate with each other, communicate, and try to at least understand. Even though you don't agree, at least understand. And always remember that regardless of where your child or where the children are residing, your primary concerns should be this. What is best for the child? Not what is best for me, but what is best for the child or the children. Also, another concern is this. Do both parents have unhindered access to both kids or to all the kids? Or are you trying to hinder the other parent from having access to the kids, which is a no-no? That's not in the best interest of the child. And it's not fair and it's not right. Remember, does the child have unhindered access to both parents? Because the children deserve and have an ethical and moral right for both parents involved in their lives, whether you want it or not. That's the rights of the children or the child. Next, are both parents involved in making decisions, major decisions especially regarding the children? Are both parents involving all these major decisions for the child or children? And lastly, do both parents know what is going on with the child? Again, that's where communication comes in. You've got to be able to communicate, even though you don't want to, even though you're not compelled to, yet for the best interest of the child, and also for the rights of the other parent as well, in regard to the child or children. All the parents should know what is going on in the lives of their child or children.